news that we all thought that we wouldn't hear has finally dropped. David Ornstein has confirmed that Mateus Fernandes will sign for Tottenham Hotspurs. Fabrizio Romano has also followed up with a "here we go." Now, should we all start to panic? Because it's exactly what's happening right now. In a record-breaking deal for a relegated player, £85 million is being spent on Mateus Fernandes from Tottenham Hotspurs. They've outbid Manchester United. Now, the question is, and this question is really important, have they overpaid and have Manchester United dodged a bullet? Why? Because Man United in no way could be spending money, especially that amount of money, on a player that has been relegated twice. All I'm hearing already online is that Ineos have let us down. Michael Carrick's in big trouble. We're all going to regret our decision in making Michael Carrick the manager. Well, let me tell you something, guys. Let's calm down a bit. That only depends on what Manchester United's targets are and if they realistically can get them. Because one really important factor is Manchester United should not be overpaying for players. And £85 million, let's just think about it. Take a step back and just listen. £85 million for a relegated player. This is absolutely out of this world, because Man United, if we got this player, we're obviously negotiating, but negotiating for a lot less of a fee. Tottenham are desperate. They need to get back into the Champions League. They were fighting relegation for 2 seasons in a row. Their supporters are absolutely going crazy at their board. And at the moment, they've already had a couple of bids rejected for players like Tonali. And they've probably seen this one and thought, this might be an easy win. And why? Because West Ham have already come out and said they'll sell to the highest bidder. And because of that, it's actually worked in their favour. And the big issue for Manchester United was the player never came out and said he wanted to play for us. Because you'd absolutely think that choosing Manchester United over Spurs, it's not even a contest. You wouldn't even think about it. No money in the world will allow you to play for Spurs if Manchester United came in for you. But clearly, this wasn't the case. So the most important thing is, did they get value for money? Maybe not. And because of that, because of the value of the transfer, let's all take a step back and relax. Because £85 million for this player, it may be way too much. And it absolutely might be that Manchester United have dodged a bullet. This then leads on to a really important question. Who are Manchester United's targets? And this is why I reckon it might be a little bit time to panic, because it's June the 30th. You've already lost out on Elliot Anderson. You've already now lost out on Mateus Fernandes. Who's your third choice? Now, my thought of you is that Manchester United should have about 3 players on the same level to go for. Not 1, 2 and 3 based on ability, because what's the point of that? You're only just taking steps backwards. What you should be doing is picking 3 players of the same ability on the same level and making sure that if one fails, you go to another. The problem with that is, who is Manchester United's next target? Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know too much about Mateus Fernandes. He's young, there's a lot about him, he's a good player, and he's even been touted as maybe the next Vitinha. And maybe in a year's time, yes, we might regret that decision. But I highly doubt that. Why? Because choosing Tottenham over Manchester United, there's a big issue with mentality there. And that's a big question I have right now. The mentality of this player. Do we actually need a player that actually thinks that Tottenham are a better option for him? So I'm maybe trying to post this in a better light. However, you have to ask these questions. A player who wants to sign for Tottenham Hotspurs over Manchester United for money, that's a bit ridiculous. Now, I can respect that maybe the player wants to get his club as big of a transfer fee as possible, but you just tell them that you're not signing for Tottenham and you don't care what money they put in. You want to play for Manchester United. And I guess that didn't happen. And the big factor in that is Jorge Mendes. He is the agent of this player. Now, I always thought that Jorge Mendes was actually one of the guys that Manchester United go to and have a good relationship when it comes to signing players. But clearly, his clients are very much controlled by him, to the point where he will dictate to them how and what their prices should be when they get sold, and not to come out in public and say they want to sign for one particular club, because in this instance, it's worked perfectly for Tottenham. But I will tell you right now, I don't care what people say, Tottenham have overplayed. £85 million for a relegated player at his age is absolutely ridiculous. So it's really important to judge this guy and his mentality. Choosing Tottenham over us, I do think there's a big question mark there. And then obviously now we have to think about what's going to happen next. Are Manchester United panicking now? Should the fans panic too? Because already online, people are going for the board. People are going for the manager. I mean, I guess it's June the 30th. It's relatively maybe still early. What you would like to have thought is that if Manchester United are going to change, if Manchester United are going to have a successful season, now is the time to be going in on the targets you want, especially for the players that are not playing at the World Cup. But clearly that's not happened. And I've already said that I'm happy for Manchester United to wait. I've already said that playing the long game is ideal, is what you want if other clubs are going to come in and act stupid. And I'll stand by that. But that doesn't mean it's not frustrating, because it is. As a supporter, you want Man United to be signing the players, the best players, going in for them. And then, you know what, getting them ready for pre-season, because that starts on July the 9th. So Manchester United getting this player, it does cause a bit of anxiety for a lot of people. And it does look like that, you know, at one hand, it's good that you're moving on. But on the other hand, it's another target that's gone, because there's obviously rumours of Manchester United going in for Tchouaméni. The guy's at the World Cup. The guy's playing for Real Madrid. He's on high wages. That is a kind of a superstar marquee signing that is very wishful. It's very hard to do. A deal like that is not done in a week. A deal like that takes time. If Manchester United going for him, it's going to have to go in from hard and quick and making sure, again, they get the right deal, because we can't overpay. If we're now going to go into a market where we try and panic, it's going to work against us. And just remember, other clubs will come in for him too, because if he's available, I guarantee you, Chelsea's, Liverpool's, Arsenal's, all these type of clubs around the world, especially in the Premier League who have got a lot of money, will want him too. So I can understand why people are getting anxious right now, because it does look a bit silly. It does look a bit strange. But take a step back. Manchester United have just come out of a race that a club are demanding too much money for, and rightfully so. And I'd like to think that hopefully in a year's time it will be proven right, because Man United will be ahead of Tottenham. Yeah, they might get in the Champions League and they might win a cup. Who cares? But the fact of the matter is that, does it affect Manchester United's plans? It's a kick right between the legs, but ultimately it's just another player that has said no to us. And if Man United do things right, and if Man United have got really good transfer plans, that they've identified 2 or 3 different players, then Manchester United should move on, and move on swiftly. Not get hung up on this. Let's not all start thinking this is the end of the transfer window, or we should start panic buying, because we've got enough time to get it right, as long as we pick the right targets. So, guys, it's frustrating. What do you think? Is it time to panic? Is it time to be mad at the board? Is Michael Carrick really pushing for the players he wants? Should he be frustrated? Is he going to be another manager that gets let down by the board? Are we going to start the season again poorly because we keep doing that, because of the targets that we don't get? I, for one, think that yes, it's frustrating, but no, we should not be panicking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back. Yeah.